recognizing that these are the kinds of steps that we need to take to get ourselves off of this addiction to fossil fuels and to build a green renewable energy economy for today and for the future. To recognize how wrong of a path we have been on when it comes to agriculture, where our government incentivizes and subsidizes multinational agribusiness corporations whose only interest is their own profits, without regard for the impact of their practices or their businesses on our people, on our farms, on our soil, on our water, on our air, and on our future. This is what must end. With those who either don't believe or don't take seriously the threat that we face, right? The word climate change, unfortunately, has become a political kind of hot button word. That even at mentioning it, you're either going to gain some or you're going to lose some. People will either open their ears or they'll close their ears because it's become so politicized, which is unfortunate. Because the impacts and the effects of climate change don't discriminate based on party line. So the way that we do this, both in Washington, but just as importantly in the conversations that we're having with each other and in our communities, is to just talk about the impacts, talk about the realities that we are all living through, that we are starting to see more and more, and to start from that baseline that I mentioned earlier of common ground, of common interest and shared concern. Whether we're Democrats or Republicans, we want to make sure that our home and our community is safe, that we're not dealing with flooding, that we're not dealing with massive natural disasters. We want to make sure that we've got clean air to breathe. We want to make sure that we've got clean water to drink. I would challenge anyone to find a Republican who says, no, actually, I don't want those things.
Oh, you're an Iowa.
Or find it in a
You know what they say when it smells really bad because of the hog manure or whatever? They say it's the smell of mud.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
So how do you counter that?
I guess I would challenge that the vast majority of people would find a shared interest in what we're talking about. That even with those pig farms, now we've smelled them throughout our travels across your state. It's the practices, it's how we're going about living our lives, how we are pursuing our agriculture industries, how we are farming that can make the difference. I think one of the obstacles that stands in the way of being able to have these conversations, unfortunately, is both sides prejudge each other and they're not actually interested in a conversation or listening and understanding where someone may be coming from, even if they completely disagree with you. And this is where it's so important for us, just as people, to start those conversations, to be willing to have them, even with those who are quote unquote on the other side.